a very warm welcome to you, Mr. Erik. It's super to have you with us, and for everyone that's on the webinar with us, Erik Bladinieres is not just he's not just the vice president of Visa Solutions. He's also a shareholder of Visa Solutions. Erik, if I can I give you 2 minutes to just give us a little bit about who you are and a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Lenny and Trevor. It's a pleasure being with you as always. From the other side of the world, we're here in Houston, Texas, early morning. It's almost 9 a.m. here in Houston. Good afternoon to everybody in South Africa, and apparently we have people in Philippines and other countries watching this webinar. So welcome everybody. Always a pleasure to talk to all of you. So I'm, as you say, I'm the Vice President of Operations and Business Development of the company. I'm in charge of Live Your Dream. And until recently, I was also in charge of all the international offices that we have in Business Solutions on recruiting as well. I'm also a business partner. As you know, we have offices in 6 to 7 different countries. I always forget the amount. We have offices in Mexico, in Colombia, in Philippines, in Vietnam, in South Africa, Poland, and US. So 7, including the one here in US. Here's the headquarters. And well, I come from a business development background from many years in the entertainment industry, and I decided to join this amazing company and program 3 years ago. The founder of the company, Jose, he started this 12 years ago. And when we met, I fell in love with this project of helping people all over the world. And it matched my experience of international business development. So here we are 3 years later, helping thousands and thousands of people from 69 different countries. And that's it. And right now in South Africa, beautiful South Africa. First time we went was about 2.5 years ago. We were shocked with the amazing opportunities, warm people, and beautiful Cape Town, of course, and the amazing food all over South Africa. So we opened an office. Now we have a very nice office with about 6, 7 people. It's one of the most important offices that we have in the world. And Live Your Dream also is not an exception. With this partnership with Induku, with you guys, we have been very successful and trying to help as many families as we can.
Erik, thank you. Thank you very much. So, more to the point of today's discussion, I want to ask you a twofold question. Firstly, how you felt when you first saw the tweet from Donald Trump, and then the second part to that is obviously why everyone has joined us today, how this would affect the applicants in the program. I'm sure you've been asked this many times, but firstly, like I said, let me know, how did you feel when you first heard it?
Well, and I'm not gonna lie, probably after 2 or 3 seconds, after he tweeted that, I started, my cell phone started to just go crazy with a lot of WhatsApps from business partner, from agencies, from clients, and naturally from candidates, applicants in the different programs that we have. And we didn't know what to expect. So when I saw the tweet, you never know with the current president and what he's gonna say. The reality is that we got shocked, same as everybody, because we didn't know the details of that tweet and what was going behind it. So naturally, that is our business. We are in the middle of a global pandemic. So it's the whole COVID, also the oil and gas. So the global economy is shaking in many ways. And then we saw this tweet. I have to be honest that like a couple of minutes after that, I just started to just check on all the different news and sources that I trust. And probably 5 minutes after that, before answering any of those phone calls or text messages, I wanted to make sure what was going on. So I read one line that he got in an interview right after he tweeted that, because he didn't just do it. He was with press and he announced it officially. And one of the lines is that, you know, he wants to protect the jobs of Americans. There's 20 million people in America that are without a job right now. That leads into a probably 9 to 10% unemployment rate, which is massive versus 1 month ago that was 3.6. So naturally, what he wants to do, and I agree with that, not just on him and whatever he says is on America, naturally they want to protect their own. So that's one of the amazing things that you will see when you come to America. Hopefully everybody in the panels are already part of it, and if not, hopefully you will. But once you come to America, you will see all the benefits and how the country does protects you as a citizen, as a visitor, or whatever your status is right now. We'll go into that in a minute. But I'm an immigrant myself in America. I'm from Mexico, I'm here, and I do feel protected. So that was a good sign. On the other side, on our business, yes, we got like, oh, what's going on? So we kept researching. The first 24 hours, there was not too much information. So we were just assuming that it was just something temporarily, as exactly how he said it. And we're like, okay, that's fine. If it's something temporarily, we agree, makes sense. After a couple of weeks or months that the economy reactivates, naturally that number of 20 million people is going to go down because many businesses will reopen. But he wants to protect the ones that are working in businesses that will not reopen, which naturally is going to happen. So the first reaction, yeah, we got a little bit shocked, but immediately we just found out that it was just something not that bad. Right after that, the next morning, there was a lot more information. We found out that it's a temporary thing, just for 60 days, targeting new green cards in a specific area as well. So the first good news, even if we all are interested on green cards, but the first part of the good news is that this is not affecting all the temporary visas. 90% of the immigration to US is temporary work visas. People that come and help in the fields, in factories, in many different industries that rely on those immigrants to keep surviving. That probably 95% of the workforce is immigrants that come with those temporary visas. So that was a very good sign that he didn't stop those, because that would affect the economy and create a bigger problem. Mm-hmm. Why he's trying to hold the green cards? Well, it does make sense. Again, it's we believe, and what we have seen is that this was more a political move than anything else. Right now, his government is not in a very good position on the way that they reacted to the COVID. They reacted very late, and that's why right now America is the country with more sick people in the world. But also they're doing some incredible things and they're reacting amazingly. But because of that, he's struggling politically. So this tweet, going back to the people saying, do not worry, I'm going to protect you, I'm going to protect your jobs. It's the perfect political move right now, especially coming into elections in a couple of months. So that is the deep end of this tweet. It was a political move. He said then it's going to be for 60 days, and then I'm going to evaluate a little bit longer if we will extend it. Probably he will extend it for another 60 days. Makes sense. The reality is, how many people is going to be affected? Probably no one. Why is that? Because from March 1st, way before this issue started and the COVID and all this in America, it was already in other countries in the world, but way before that, USCIS came out and said that there was way too many applicants on green cards, and that those applications were getting most of the numbers that they were expecting for the fiscal year. So since March 1st, there are no green cards available and no appointments available in the consulates until further notice. When is that going to be? It could be until October 1st, that is the new fiscal year, It could be earlier. We do believe that it's going to be a little bit earlier, but who knows? Right now.
Sorry, Erik, just on that, is that you are saying green cards? Is that specifically the EB3?
All of them. So it's not just EB3, EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, EB5, and any other way, even family. So EBs are for employment-based, family green cards, follow to join, anything that has to do with a green card. So even people that is already in US doing adjustment of status, all the green cards. So again, we already knew that. So by him coming out and saying that in 60 days, there's not going to be any green cards, that's when we were like, that's it. It doesn't have any impact at all. And even if he does another 60 days, it's still not going to be an impact at all. So we believe it was mostly a political move, a very good one. Naturally, that raises his points a lot with the people. When you come out and say, I'm going to protect you first, and he has done it. So that was a political move.
Cool.
Is there anything else that is going to happen? We don't know. I would lie if I tell you everything is 100% fine. But I can tell you that as of today, there's no official announcements from any of the three entities that we have, that we work with in order to process the EB3s, that it's going to be any hold at all. Which are those three entities? The Department of Labor has nothing to do with this. They are still processing. Every single day we are submitting new applicants and receiving approvals, audits. So they are still working. It's getting slower, yes, naturally, because everybody is at home. Those offices are not open, but they're still working. And we're still getting a lot of approvals every single day. It's getting slower. That is going to be a fact. So that is what we're expecting. The whole process, naturally, because of this, is going to get a lot slower. If we were experiencing, 12 to 14 months for processes, even if we always say the average is 18, now we're going to get closer to 18 and potentially even more. But that is normal. That's part of our day-to-day. There's always different factors. But that's on the Department of Labor. It's still working normally, just a little bit slower. Then immigration, actually yesterday we submitted about, it was like 35 applications to USCIS, no issues. We submit them successfully. It's still open, even yesterday. So immigration.
Maybe just elaborate on, I just see some questions coming through now. Elaborate on, when you say there's no green cards available, just elaborate on that and tell them exactly when the green cards will become available again.
So we don't know the exact date. So that, so DOL is still fine, the first stage. USCIS, which is the virtual or digital approval of your green card, that is still happening. We are getting approvals on the I-140s, which is the digital version of your green card. Once that gets approved, then you have to go to the consulates, to a consulate for an interview. That is the part that right now it's on hold. The consulates are closed all over the world because of COVID, all the consulates, and there's no dates to reopen. That is the first part. And the second part is there are no physical green cards available to give once you go to the consulate. So they are not giving those, it's not a physical, it's a stamp, but they don't have those numbers available right now until what we believe recently it's going to be on October 1st.
Okay.
It might be earlier than that. October 1st, why October 1st? Is because that is the beginning of the fiscal year. But we believe there's going to be some available before that time. Okay. How does that affect all our candidates? It does not. Unless you are on the National Visa Center process, which is the last stage of your process, at least 12 months after you started, unless you are there, which for South Africa specifically, Live Your Dream, it's only 2 candidates. Those guys are waiting for that interview. For them, it's the only one that it's getting affected. And it's not affected, it's just a waiting period. Usually takes about 3 months to get those interviews. Well, now it's going to take them 6 months. But we are still within the 18-month estimated period of the whole process.
Okay, so just to recap on that. So for our people and our applicants and people thinking of joining, there is no delay at Department of Labor.
Not at all.
On this, what Trevor said.
Not at all. We can still submit to the Department of Labor. New applicants can start their process. By the time that they get through the Department of Labor and Immigration, all this is going to be gone.
Perfect.
All the estimates is that in the next 6 months, everything is going to be back to normal worldwide. The economy should go back, at least in US, should go back to its natural flow in the next 6 to 12 months. To go back to exactly where we were, it might take years, but in America, things go back to normal very fast.
Okay. So let's get another question that was on someone's mind, and actually it's quite a good question. It says, does what Trump is doing at the moment, obviously now there's so the new figures just came out this afternoon, there's 26 million unemployed people at the moment. Okay. Will the positions that have been offered to our applicants at the moment, will these positions be affected?
Not at all, and that's a very good question. There are 2 industries that are in boom. They're blooming in this pandemic. The first one, naturally, is healthcare. We also work in healthcare as well, a few positions, and it's booming. So that industry, doctors, nurses, healthcare practitioners, anything that has to do with health. The second one is logistics. Anyone that is working in logistics, it's just in high demand. A few weeks ago, Amazon announced that they're hiring 100,000 people in the middle of the pandemic. Etsy is hiring 30,000. Instacart is hiring 30,000. UPS is hiring 40,000 people. So there is a lot, like hundreds of thousands of new jobs that are being created in the middle of this. For one of the industries in logistics that we work is trucking. Truck drivers are in high demand. We bring 1,500 of them every year. Every single client wants their drivers as soon as possible. Avant for the logistics, the last mile delivery drivers, because of all this boom of digital purchases, e-commerce, it's in high demand. Everybody wants to get their drivers. So as long as you are in industries that are in high demand, there's always going to be high demand of people. So there is still going to be a shortage. Naturally, in the future, some of those positions are going to be taken by some of those people without jobs. But we have already spoken to all our clients. They don't see that anything is going to change. Then the Department of Labor has already approved these companies to sponsor people from the international markets. If you already have an offer letter, if you already have a service agreement, if you're already in the process, that position is waiting for you and they cannot take it away. So short answer, no, their positions are not in risk.
Erik, so just to touch on that, on our discussion
as soon as possible. Avant for the logistics, the last mile delivery drivers, because of all this boom of digital purchases, e-commerce, it's in high demand. Everybody wants to get their drivers. So as long as you are in industries that are in high demand, there's always going to be high demand of people. So there is still going to be a shortage. Naturally, in the future, some of those positions are going to be taken by some of those people without jobs. But we have already spoken to all our clients. They don't see that anything is going to change. Then the Department of Labor has already approved these companies to sponsor people from the international markets. If you already have an offer letter, if you already have a service agreement, if you're already in the process, that position is waiting for you and they cannot take it away. So
Good.
Short answer, no, their positions are not in risk.
Erik, so just to touch on that, on our discussion that we had with our guys on Tuesday, I mentioned that obviously, as you well mentioned now, that hospitality is obviously one of the industries that are going to be impacted. And just to touch on the new Leaf Hospitality, I know that you guys had a meeting recently with them. Can you just give and a little bit in terms of the input of what they also shared with you, you know, in terms of the caliber of people that they do get there, that is sort of a stepping stone to the next thing, that they always sort of short-lived, and that's why they're very happy to continue doing this walk with you, or this process with you as Visa Solutions.
Yeah. Well, the opportunities in America, and again, right now, it's we have never seen anything like this before in our lifetime. It's a global pandemic. It's affecting the economies worldwide. It's a shake for the whole planet, right? So what's going to happen in the future? No one knows. But one thing I can tell you for sure, and you know, naturally, we have to do a lot of research on all the different markets that we have. Personally, I have a lot of interest in Mexico because that's where my family comes from, but I do a lot of research on all the countries and how is this affecting every country. Yeah. And then you compare that to America. I have to say that, you know, we're blessed to be in this country in many ways, because, and I'm gonna go a little bit deeper on this. I don't know if you have seen it, but 2 weeks ago, they released a fund of $2.3 trillion, not billions, $1 trillion, to help the economy all over America. You know, to help businesses, to help people, to help all the doctors and healthcare systems. How was that money used? 430 billion were used to support businesses. 320 billion were used to help people. How can you get access to it? You didn't even have to do anything. Everybody on their phones, on their bank accounts, you know, in the last 2 weeks is starting to get $1,200 if you're a single person, $2,400 if you are married, $500 additionally per child per month during this pandemic. Especially if you are below a certain bracket of income, they are protecting anyone under $70,000, which is a great salary. So anyone under that is going to be around 80 million people that is going to receive these funds. So just for free, you know, so people is getting helped a lot. So all these 26 million people that you see without a job, they're not actually without a job. They do have food on their tables. They are getting a lot of support from the government. So you feel the unemployment rate, and those are the first ones that get the benefit. So that's why so many people is applying for it. They are not, you know, on long term, they're not losing their job. Most of them are gonna get those job backs once the economy restarts. And then the second part of the challenge. So first, all these people, they're getting help. And then the businesses, how are those businesses gonna survive, paying rent, paying, you know, services? And of course, they cannot pay the salaries because they're not getting income, because people is not coming to the businesses, restaurants, stores, you name it, right? Well, the other 430 it's to support those guys. 3 days ago, the money ran out, and most of the big companies were getting the bigger chunk of that money. So there was immediately a lot of complaints, and then they released another set, I don't know the exact number, but I believe it's around another $300 billion just to help small businesses. Mm-hmm. So if you own one store, one ice cream shop, one whatever, you know, corner shop for whatever you do, all those small businesses now are going to get help as well, because many people also work. So people may have just 5 people, or 5 employees or 10 employees. So all of them are going to get help. The employees are going to get help. The companies are going to get help. And what this is doing, they are investing so that they go back to normal once this is over. This is the kind of things that I'm not seeing that anywhere in the world. Maybe Canada is doing a little bit of it, and maybe Germany is doing a little bit of it, but it's not that common. So again, being here, seeing that, how the government is helping and investing on all this, and that they have the funds to do it, that's great. So
that is good. So Erik, I mean, I think we have pretty much covered a lot of things here. I think to close maybe, so what we would need to try and say to people also that is considering joining this program, you know, they would want to know, you know, if they have just sent in their documentation. We were talking about people that have just gotten offer letters and stuff like that. So will people now still be getting offer letters? The companies that we are employing for, you guys have had meetings with them. You guys are still happy that these companies are still strong enough to go through the process with them. What would you say to someone that is looking at or considering joining this program?
Well, the first thing that we did this week when we saw this news, and when we started to get real answers about it, is talking to our clients. I'm happy to say that all those conversations in the hospitality industry, with our 2 clients in hospitality, with our clients in logistics, with our clients in trucking, everybody is still hiring. They do see that even if right now we are in the middle of this, and it's gonna, the next, I would say, 2 to 6 months, it's gonna be, a growing curve as well. But after those 6 months, they know things are gonna go back to normal. And then after 12 months and 18 months. So right now, anyone that joins the program, you're not gonna come to America until 18 months from now. And in 18 months, please record this part, the economy in America is going to be back to normal, and it's going to be as strong as ever. One thing they do very well, and is getting back on their feet. This is going to be, it's just going to be a shake. Certain industries are going to move a little bit, and, they're going to reshape their way. But by the time that anyone that joins the program now, by the time that they come, the economy in America is going to be booming again. There's going to be a shortage of people. The shortage of hands in America, it's something that has happened for the last 30 years, or maybe even more. There are many jobs that it's just not enough people because of how fast this economy grows. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why the Chinese compete so much, or probably even better in many areas than Americans, is because they do have people. They are a lot. So in America, there's 320 people and 20 million people. It's not enough. You may think, well, it's a lot of people. It's not enough. So that's why they need immigrants. That's why there are so many different ways to come to America. That's why they will continue to do this program. And that is why Mr. Trump just said, this is temporary. That word is key to his message. It's just temporary. He wants to make sure that everything is okay at home, so that we can keep welcome international people, especially green card holders, right?
Good. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. I saw one more question that I just want to address. That is, what happens if you get stuck, or at any point this becomes, like not just temporary, but it just forever, right? Well, that's why all our service agreements, if you read them, we give guarantees. The guarantees gives you that if you do not get approved because of your own problem, because you lied to us, because you had any immigration issues or any criminal records, any reason, or you didn't submit your documents on time, if it's anything 100% related to the candidate, then you lose your money. But we're here to help you, making sure that you don't do those things. If it's Visa Solutions' fault, you get your money back 100%. If there's anyone else's fault, that is not your fault, the government, Mr. Trump comes and said, that's it, forever, we're not going to get anyone else, you get your money back. So that's how confident we are about the program. That's how confident we are that this program has happened since many decades ago and will continue to happen. So this is just a hiccup, what is happening in the world, but especially and it's more than a hiccup. But in US, it's a hiccup only. This is temporarily. So if for any reason you get totally denied, you will get your money back. So please, relax. No one else will give you these kind of guarantees. And we are happy to give you your money back if you get denied, but you will not. So trust us, you are in good hands. We have done this for 12 years. We will continue to do this for another 12. And nothing will make us happier than welcome you in US sometime soon.
Good.
Yeah, Erik, thank you so much. I think that even when I went through a couple of these questions, there's been a lot of questions that have come through. And I think, to everybody that's listening and watching, if there's more questions, we obviously don't have the time today. We are going to ask Erik to join us on a panel again in a week or two's time. We can look at some of those questions, but I think that we've covered all the questions in one way or another that has been asked. One which popped through shortly was, what happens if Amazon doesn't continue contracts with you? I think you've already covered that point. More to
the client is not Amazon. The client is Avant. The Avant group offers services to Amazon, to UPS, and to anyone that does last mile delivery drivers. We have a contract with them. We had a long conversation with them this week. Don't worry, we will have a contract with them for many years to come. So
yeah, Erik, so thank you so much for your time with us today. I don't know if you have any final words that you'd like to add, but we're very grateful that we could have spent this time with you and that you could have shared the message that you've shared with everybody this afternoon. So from our side, we're really grateful and we appreciate that. And I'm gonna ask, before I go to you, Erik, let me ask Lenny, any final points from your side, man?
No, I mean, everything is pretty much covered. I mean, I'm even from a applicant's point of view also, at ease of where things are, and we can also just deal with what we have at the moment. Once again, I think I said it previously as well, is what the facts came at the moment. This is what we have, and we deal with it as we are. And then we are transparent with everyone as we are now, that we give you as what we have. And just to add to that, the part of the greatness of this green room, I see there's quite a bit of people that have logged on today. I mean, I want to encourage you guys to continue to do this. I mean, we are a group of people that almost becomes like a family, and we want to try and share as much with you. So next week, Tuesday, we've got a great guest that is going to, enlighten us with a lot of things. So she's going to touch on, she's based in America. She's going to touch on this as well, this topic for a little bit. And then we're going to ask her to tap into something else that is pretty pertinent to all our applicants. It is based on a credit score and how to get a US credit score and how important it is and stuff like that. So, please log in again and, stay tuned with us for next week, Tuesday. That's it.
Erik, final words, please, sir.
Well, good luck on the rest of the webinars, and thank you for arranging them. I think they are great. For everybody else, please stay safe. That's the most important thing right now. Stay at home. Try to relax. I know it's not that easy. Hopefully very, very soon, all this nightmare is going to go away and the whole world is going to give us a break. And let's use this time to try to bring the best out of us, however we can. Help others, help ourselves, clear our minds, and hopefully everybody is okay and comes out, triumph with this, out of this. Hopefully we will see all of you here in America very soon. Nothing will make me happier. Please remember, you are in good hands, and we will not rest until your cases are approved. So that's our job, that's our commitment,